Ever get that feeling like someone's like kind of persuading you, but you don't even realize it? Like there's this like hidden message, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Today we're diving into that, the world of indirect suggestion.
Okay.
And for this deep dive, we're going to be using excerpts from Hypnosis Training Seminar
Mm-hmm.
by Stephen Brooks
Interesting.
called The Art of Indirect Suggestion. This guy, he's considered a master hypnotist.
Oh, wow.
And what's so fascinating about what we're going to uncover here
Uh-huh.
is that these techniques he talks about, they aren't just for inducing trances.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they're for like everyday communication.
Interesting. So, like, influence.
Influence, exactly.
Yeah.
This could totally change how you see conversations forever.
I'm intrigued. So how do these techniques work? How do they, like, tap into our minds?
Well, that's what's so cool about this.
Yeah.
It's like they bypass the gatekeepers of our conscious awareness.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all that resistance and skepticism.
Oh, like our inner critic?
Yeah, exactly. So instead of like a head-on confrontation, it's more like a subtle infiltration.
Sneaky.
Right.
Yeah, I like it.
Brooks, he's like a master of crafting these language patterns.
Okay.
And he uses tonality,
Right.
even nonverbal cues, to slip past our mental filters.
Fascinating.
And one technique that really shows this is what he calls the yes set.
The yes set.
So can you give us an example of that? Like how can seemingly harmless phrases be part of this yes set?
Okay, so imagine you're at a meeting
Yeah.
and someone says, "It's a bit stuffy in this room, isn't it?"
Okay, yeah.
That seems like a simple observation, right?
Right.
But it's actually the start of a yes set.
Oh, okay.
They're looking for you to agree, to nod along.
Hmm.
And then they might follow up with something like, "And we've all been working hard, feeling the pressure to meet this deadline."
Okay, still seems pretty innocuous.
Right, but they're building momentum,
Okay, so setting you up,
leading you down a path.
and then comes the subtle suggestion.
Exactly. They might say something like, "So wouldn't it be great to take a short break, clear our heads, and come back refreshed and ready to brainstorm some truly innovative solutions?"
Oh, I see. So by starting with statements that are easy to agree with,
Yeah,
they make it harder to resist that final suggestion.
exactly.
It's like they're leading you down a path, and each step feels so logical, you don't realize where you're headed until you're already there.
That's the brilliance of it. And Brooks, he takes it even further.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with something he calls reverse yes sets. And he uses no answers to get the same effect.
Oh, okay, that sounds kind of tricky. How does that work?
So think of it this way. Someone might say, "You wouldn't want this project to fail because we lacked creative energy, would you?"
Right, and you'd say no to that.
Exactly. But by saying no to that, you're still reinforcing that underlying message that you do want the project to succeed.
Oh, I see, I see.
And you need that creative energy
Oh, wow.
to make that happen.
So it's like they're using your own resistance against you.
It's like a mental judo move.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah,
Okay, this is making me rethink every conversation I've ever had.
I know, right?
Okay, so Brooks also talks about this technique called pacing and leading, which seems to builds on this whole idea of like subtly influencing someone's thoughts.
Absolutely.
So can you break that down for us?
Sure. So with pacing and leading, you're essentially creating this seamless transition from the listener's current reality to a new thought or experience you want to introduce.
Okay, I'm following.
And it starts with pacing, acknowledging, reflecting their current experience so they feel understood.
Okay, meeting them where they are.
Exactly.
So how would you use this in like a real conversation? Say you're trying to convince a friend to try a new restaurant.
Okay, so you could start by pacing their current state.
Okay.
Like, I know you love Italian food, and
Mm.
that little trattoria downtown has been your go-to spot.
Right.
So you're acknowledging their preference.
Their habit.
Right. You're not dismissing their reality. You're meeting them where they are.
Right.
And then you can subtly lead them towards this new experience.
Okay.
You might say, "But I've heard amazing things about this new Thai place. Apparently, the chef trained in Bangkok, and their spices are supposed to be unbelievable.
Okay. Yeah.
It might be fun to explore something completely different."
Oh, I see. So you're building a bridge from their comfort zone to something new and exciting.
Exactly. Brooks demonstrates this in his seminar.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. He tells the subject, "Your hands on your lap."
Okay.
So pacing their current reality. And then he adds, "And I don't know what sensations you might be experiencing at this moment."
Wow.
So he's shifting their focus inward.
So subtle.
Right.
It's fascinating how he uses these seemingly simple observations to guide someone's attention.
Yeah.
and potentially influence their whole experience.
Exactly. And Brooks, he doesn't stop there. He introduces another concept, a mind-bending one, the power of negatives.
Okay, now you've got my attention. How can negatives be persuasive?
This is where it gets really interesting. Brooks argues that using phrases like, you wouldn't expect, or you can't imagine, can actually make it harder to disagree with him. It's like shutting down your resistance before you even have it.
So instead of saying something directly, you're presenting it as something they shouldn't be able to comprehend. Like a dare, almost.
Yeah, exactly. It creates this mental loop.
Right.
Brooks loves to use this example. You will you not?
Whoa, okay, my brain just like short-circuited.
Right.
By the time I figured out how to respond, I've already agreed.
Exactly. It plays on our tendency to want to rebel against being told what to do.
Yeah.
So by using a negative, you're almost encouraging the opposite reaction.
Oh, that's so clever. This is making me seriously rethink the way I use language. It's like there's this whole other level of communication happening under the surface.
The whole new world.
It really is.
Yeah.
And Brooks, he goes on to talk about something called compound suggestions, which seems to take this pacing and leading to a whole new level.
Absolutely.
So what are compound suggestions all about?
So essentially, a compound suggestion combines that pacing statement with a leading statement. So you're creating this seamless flow from acknowledging their reality to introducing a new concept or experience.
So it's got a two-pronged approach.
Yeah,
Grounding them in their current experience and then gently guiding them towards a new perspective.
exactly.
I like it. Can you give me an example of a compound suggestion?
Okay, so imagine you're trying to help someone relax. You could say, you're sitting here listening to the sound of my voice. So that's pacing their current experience.
Right.
And then you add, and as you listen, you might notice your breathing slowing down, your muscles relaxing.
Oh, okay. So you've smoothly transitioned from pacing to leading,
Yeah.
planting that suggestion of relaxation right into their reality. I like it. I like it. It's fascinating how that technique can create a sense of like inevitability, like the suggestion is already unfolding naturally.
And that brings us to contingent suggestions.
Contingent suggestions. Okay.
Yeah. These are really interesting because they link suggestions to ongoing behaviors,
Okay.
making them feel even more effortless.
So instead of presenting the suggestion directly, you're tying it to something they're already doing.
Exactly. So you're using as, when, and until to make the suggestion feel like it's already happening.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So Brooks might say, as you breathe out, you might notice your eyelids getting heavy. Or as your hand shakes, you might find one hand moving at a different speed than the other.
It's like he's hijacking their natural rhythms,
Yeah.
weaving suggestions into what they're already doing.
Exactly. He's a master at observing and utilizing whatever's happening in the moment.
That's incredible. This is making me like hyper aware of every word and every gesture. It's like you've pulled back the curtain on this whole subtle dance of communication.
And we've only just begun to explore it. Brooks goes on to discuss double binds and confusion techniques.
Wow.
And how they can be used to occupy the conscious mind and make the unconscious even more receptive to suggestion.
This is already blowing my mind. It's like you've given me a decoder ring for human interaction.
I know, it's fascinating, isn't it?
It really is. But it sounds like there's so much more to uncover, so stay tuned because when we come back, we're going to delve even deeper into the art of indirect suggestion with Stephen Brooks.
So, welcome back. We're continuing our exploration of indirect suggestion with the master himself, Stephen Brooks.
This is where it gets really fascinating to me because he actually starts demonstrating these techniques live in the seminar.
Right.
It's amazing to hear it in action.
He starts off by showcasing that yes-set technique. You remember from earlier, right?
Yeah, is establishing a pattern of agreement.
Right.
To make the listener more open to those suggestions that are going to follow. And he uses such disarming examples.
Oh, yeah.
Like he'll say things like, it's a Tuesday afternoon and we're all gathered here to learn about the power of the mind.
Right, like stating the obvious.
It's so simple, but so effective.
Yeah. It's brilliant, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
It's like he's gently lulling their conscious mind into this state of agreement.
Almost like a lullaby. Yeah.
And then he'll just seamlessly weave in a suggestion.
Exactly. He might say something like, and as you continue to breathe, you might find your eyelids getting a little heavy, your body relaxing more and more.
It's incredible how he paces their reality and then subtly leads them into a new experience.
Yeah, it's masterful, isn't it?
It really is. It's like he's planting these suggestions so skillfully, just like take root in their unconscious mind.
It's a powerful process.
And, it's fascinating to me how Brooks emphasizes
Yeah.
that these techniques aren't just for, like, induce a trance.
Right.
Like, these are tools that we can all use to enhance our communication,
In everyday life.
our influence, in everyday situations.
I think that's what makes this so relevant to our listeners,
I agree.
It's not just about some niche practice. It's about understanding human interaction
Exactly.
on a deeper level.
Okay, so give us an example. How could we apply this, say, in a work setting? Let's say you're trying to, I don't know, convince your boss
Okay.
to approve a new project.
Okay, so let's think about that. You could start by saying something like, we're all committed to increasing productivity and finding innovative solutions for the company.
Right, so you're establishing that common ground,
Exactly.
aligning your goal with the company's objectives.
Right. And then you might add, and this new project has the potential to streamline our workflow and generate significant revenue.
Okay, so you're building momentum,
Yeah,
reinforcing that this project aligns with those shared goals.
exactly.
And then finally, you deliver the suggestion.
Right. So you might say, wouldn't it be beneficial to allocate resources to explore this project further, see how we can implement it effectively?
I love it. So you're strategically framing your request, making it way harder for them to say no.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. Who's going to argue with increased productivity and revenue?
Right.
It's a win-win.
It really is. And Brooks, he talks about how understanding these techniques can totally transform how we approach persuasion.
Yeah, it's not about manipulation or coercion.
I'll
It's
take it.
about, understanding the subtle dynamics of communication
Yeah,
and using them ethically.
absolutely. Speaking of ethical considerations, he stresses how important it is to use these techniques responsibly.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not about like mind control, right? It's
Yeah.
about empowering people,
Yeah.
helping them access their own inner resources.
The positive changes.
Exactly.
I like that. All right, so moving on to another fascinating technique. Brooks, he delves into the power of negatives
Yeah.
in the seminar. I'm still reeling from how effective that can be.
It's wild, isn't it?
I never would have thought that telling someone what not to do could actually influence them to do it.
It's counterintuitive, but incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
And Brooks, he gives this brilliant example.
Okay.
He tells the subject, you wouldn't want to feel uncomfortable, would you?
Oh my gosh, I hate that.
Right. It's like a mental trap.
It really is.
Your brain can't even process it.
No.
Saying yes feels wrong, but saying no means you're admitting you do want to feel uncomfortable.
Right, right.
It's brilliant. By the time you've, untangled the logic, you've already conceded the point.
Yeah.
It's like a checkmate.
It's like he's playing chess with your mind.
Yeah, he is. He is.
And Brooks shows how this technique can even be used to subtly induce those trance states.
Oh, how so?
Like he'll say things like, you don't have to close your eyes yet.
Right.
Or, you wouldn't want to go into a trance before you're ready.
Right. So by telling them what not to do,
Yeah.
he's planting the seed of the action itself.
Reverse psychology for the mind.
It's brilliant.
It's like, yeah.
It really is.
All right, so building on this concept of pacing and leading, he then introduces those compound suggestions.
Yes.
These sound super powerful.
They are. A compound suggestion, it's essentially combining a pacing statement with a leading statement. And Brooks demonstrates this beautifully with his seminar subject.
Give us an example. What would a compound suggestion sound like?
He might say, you're sitting here listening to the sound of my voice, and as you listen, you might notice your breathing slowing down, your muscles relaxing, a sense of calm washing over you.
It's so poetic. It's like he's painting a picture with words, guiding them towards that desired state of being.
It is. It's a very elegant technique.
So Brooks also introduces another technique, contingent suggestions.
Yeah.
And these seem to build on that idea of like linking suggestion.
It's ongoing behaviors. Exactly. So it's all about utilizing whatever's happening in the moment.
So like real-time adaptation.
Exactly. Brooks is a master of this.
Does he give any examples of how he does this?
Oh, yeah. There's this incredible moment in the seminar where he's working with a subject who's tapping their foot,
Right. Yeah.
Nervously. And Brooks, he just seamlessly incorporates that into a suggestion. He says, as you continue tapping your foot, you might notice your eyelids getting heavy, your body relaxing more and more.
It's brilliant.
Right.
It's like he's harnessing their existing behavior
Yeah.
to amplify that power of suggestion.
Exactly. It's such a subtle but effective way to make the suggestion feel like it's coming from within.
Right, like it's their own idea.
Exactly.
Wow. It's incredible how he's able to adapt and improvise in the moment. Like he's creating these truly personalized experiences.
Absolutely.
Now, in addition to these specific techniques, Brooks emphasizes some broader principles of indirect suggestion
Yeah,
that are essential for anyone who wants to master this art, right?
definitely. One of the most crucial principles he highlights is the importance of pacing the listener's reality.
Facing their reality.
Yeah, like before you can effectively lead someone somewhere new, you got to start where they are.
Oh, so acknowledge their current thoughts, feelings, their experiences.
Make them feel seen, understood.
Right, build that rapport.
Exactly. It's about building trust before you introduce new ideas.
So that leads into another key principle he emphasizes, the importance of being indirect, right?
Absolutely. So instead of saying, I want you to feel relaxed, you might say, many people find that listening to calming music helps them feel more relaxed.
Right, you're subtly planting that seed.
Exactly. It's not about being forceful or demanding.
It's about giving their unconscious mind the space to kind of arrive at that desired outcome on its own.
It's about guiding, not pushing.
Brooks also talks about using ambiguity and confusion to occupy the conscious mind, right?
Yes.
It sounds a little counterintuitive, but I'm starting to get it.
Yeah, he's brilliant at using puns, metaphors, stories
Mm-hmm.
with multiple layers of meaning. It's like you're giving their conscious mind a puzzle to solve,
Right.
while their unconscious mind is absorbing that underlying message.
It's like a Trojan horse for the mind.
Yeah, it's like sneaking those suggestions in, disguised as entertainment.
Yeah.
It's very clever.
And Brooks also uses a lot of humor throughout the seminar.
Oh, yeah.
I really appreciate that. It makes this whole process feel more engaging, a little less intimidating.
I agree. He has a great way of making even complex concepts accessible and fun.
Okay, so one thing that really stood out to me was how much emphasis Brooks places on observation.
Oh, definitely.
He's constantly tuned in to his subjects' responses, body language, their tone of voice, their facial expressions. It's like he's reading their minds.
He's like a detective of the unconscious mind, searching for those subtle clues
Yeah.
that reveal what's happening beneath the surface.
It's not just about delivering those pre-scripted suggestions.
Yeah.
It's about being present, responsive to their unique reactions.
Exactly. Brooks emphasizes that true mastery of indirect suggestion lies in the ability to tailor your approach to the individual you're interacting with.
It's like you're creating a customized hypnotic experience.
Absolutely. It's personalized.
And that's what makes his approach so effective.
He's not just delivering techniques. He's teaching a way of being,
I love that.
a way of interacting with the world
Yeah.
that is both powerful and respectful.
It's about understanding those nuances of human communication
Yeah.
and using that knowledge to create positive change. Now, before we move on to the final part of our deep dive,
Okay.
I want to just pause for a moment.
Yeah.
Acknowledge how much we've already covered. It's been an incredible journey so far.
Exploring that intricate world of indirect suggestion.
Yeah, with Stephen Brooks as our guide, we've delved into specific techniques, yes sets, pacing and leading, the power of negatives, compound suggestions and contingent suggestions, uncovering their subtle power and potential applications. We've also talked about those broader principles like pacing the listener's reality, being indirect,
Right.
utilizing ambiguity and confusion, the importance of observation and adaptation.
It's a lot to take in,
It is.
but it's incredibly insightful.
Absolutely. And there's still more to come.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, because when we return, we're going to wrap up our deep dive with some key takeaways from Brooks's seminar.
Okay.
And we'll explore how you can actually apply these insights
Yes.
to your own life. Welcome back to the deep dive. We've been on quite a journey exploring this fascinating world of indirect suggestion.
We have. And with Stephen Brooks as our guide, no less.
Right. So as we wrap up our deep dive into his seminar, I'm thinking, what are some key takeaways that go beyond just the specific techniques?
I think one of the most crucial takeaways is that indirect suggestion isn't just about, getting people to do what you want.
Right.
It's about tapping into the power of the unconscious mind.
It's funny, we often think of hypnosis as this mysterious, magical thing.
Yeah.
But Brooks, he demystifies it.
He really does.
He shows how it's rooted in these subtle communication techniques.
Exactly. He reminds us that the unconscious mind, it's constantly working, shaping our thoughts and feelings and behaviors.
Right. So if we can understand how to communicate with it effectively, then, well, that's powerful.
Right. So we've been given a new language, a way to speak directly to that part of ourselves that holds so much potential.
It's true. Okay, so what about the ethical side of this?
Right. Well, Brooks emphasizes that you have to use these techniques with respect and integrity.
It makes sense. These are powerful tools.
They are powerful.
You need to use them responsibly.
It's not about manipulating people
Right.
or controlling them. It's about empowering them.
Okay, so how can our listeners, how can they apply these insights to their own lives? What can they do?
Well, Brooks, he offers a challenge. He says to start paying attention to the language people use around you,
To notice those subtle cues.
the patterns.
Right. Become more aware of that subtle dance of communication.
Exactly. To understand how we're being influenced and how we can influence others.
So we could be more skillful communicators.
More persuasive, more impactful.
And maybe a little bit more mischievous.
Perhaps, but always with respect and integrity.
Of course, of course. So as our listeners go about their day, what's like one thing they should keep in mind?
Try using a yes set or a contingent suggestion. See what happens. You might be surprised by what you discover.
It's like Brooks is handing us